Shoot, what's going on? It's preacher. So, whew, that Walmart thing was something else, man. See, I'm back in the truck, so obviously I got my truck. My truck was actually up and running the next day. What happened was the my battery cable line for the battery that goes to your starter, well, the eye clip that the line is attached to your starter, that clip broke. The whole clip had broke, so my truck ain't have no power at all. And then the little itsy bitsy wires that I had, it's not enough to carry the current to give it some power, to enough power to turn it over or anything. So that was the problem right there. That was the problem. Now I thought about doing some stuff, right? Because I thought about getting my jumper cables and using that cable to hook up to the battery, to hook up to the starter, to that other starter, to get that going and stuff like that. Tried doing all that pretty simple, but I didn't want to fry nothing. I really didn't want to fry nothing. I really didn't want to fry nothing. I mean, back in the days, I used to do that with cars, but hey, I ain't want to fry nothing, man. So, and Walmart was like, well, you got to get a tow, whatever, whatnot. And said they gave me a couple hours to see, but because it was Friday night, it was 12 o'clock in the morning. No mobile person was answering their phone. No mobile person was answering their phone. It's the holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend. So luckily, my mechanic, he was going to the shop to do some work. So I had to get it towed to his shop. Okay, that cost me $475 to get it towed to his shop, so he can take 10 minutes, $3 in parts to fix. It took him 10 minutes, $3 in parts to fix. He ain't even charged me for it. Because it was just that simple. I already had the cable off too. So only thing he had to do was put another eye clip on the cable, use the press to press it down, solder it back, hook it back up to the starter. Done deal. 10 minutes. But it's a shame. 10 minutes and a $3 part cost me $475, man. $475. I'm just like, wow. But while he was under there, he saw my one of my other cables is brittle too. So he was like, hey, cause I got a leak, an oil leak that he's fixing on my truck Friday, and he said, well, when he go fix my oil leak on the truck on Friday, then he's gonna replace that cable because that cable looked like it's about to go too. So he secured it a little bit more just to make sure it's gonna get me until I break on my truck in the shop on Friday. He's just like, yeah, man, you just got, a 23-year-old truck. Cables ain't gonna last forever. You're gonna have to change out your cables and stuff like that, which makes sense. You can't think about everything inside a truck. You can't think of everything in a truck. It does make sense. I replaced my battery cable lines on my battery, but never that long cable that goes from the battery up to the starter. Then you got two of them. So I never replaced that or replace the fittings or the eye clips and stuff for them. So that does make sense that, hey, it does get brittle through time, that they can break. It probably is good to go in. And, I got plenty of line. You can shave it off to the nice copper. And then you can just put new eye clips on them. Resolder them and put them back just to make sure all your wires and everything is good. So it does make sense to do that. But that was the problem. It wasn't like it was a big problem. I couldn't Uber nowhere to get it because here in Fort Pierce, everything closed. Walmart closes at 10 o'clock. Everything closed. Everything closed. They don't sell them at no truck stop. So only had the Loves and stuff like that. So I was stuck. I couldn't do nothing. And I was where I was stuck at in Walmart is in the traffic lanes. from the yard dogs and everything like that. They get mad because I was stuck right there, you know. But it is what it is. But man, hey, yeah, well, you won't have to get a tow, man. I got a tow truck coming. I can't do nothing till they get him, but the tow truck is coming. I can't do nothing. You know, then Walmart just had set my trailer there to the next morning. But yeah, I told my mechanic exactly what it was. He already had the parts there. He already had the press for the eye clip to get it pressed down on there and then do the soldering and stuff. 10 minutes, man. 10 minutes, because I already unhooked the cord, so the cord was already unhooked by the battery. So only thing he had to do was put the new eye clip on, solder it up, press it, run the line back to the starter, attach the lines and the mounts for it. He said 10 minutes, man. It cost him 10 minutes. It really was no time. Don't even worry about it. 10 minutes he had the part. It's not it wasn't a big deal. It's a big deal for me. You know, I broke down. I had to pay $475, man, plus the Uber to get me home to the house. So it was a big deal with me, but it wasn't that much. I mean, you can chop it up to, okay, well, I can chop it up to, I should have replaced those lines when I had got the truck, considering I have a 1999 truck. And they still have the original cables and lines and hooks up to them, stuff like that. You know, I mean, I did hoses and stuff like that. I did hoses and belts and clamps on the engine stuff, but I just didn't. I did change out the lines on the batteries too, the battery connector lines. I changed those out, but I never thought about the lines that goes from your batteries to your actual starter and stuff like that. To get those redone and stuff. Plus, it's easy and it's cheap to do. So, I mean, you probably pay a mechanic an hour worth of time just to shave off all that stuff, get the new lines on it, you know. But, chop it up to a lesson learned, man. Lesson learned. $500 because the Uber was $20 and that was $475 for the tow. So, I guess I can chop it up to, you know, a $500 lesson learned. This is an expensive lesson learned, though. It is. And then he gonna fix the other wire when I get my other seal replaced. I got a seal on my accessory drive that is leaking, and it's leaking the oil and the oil going all down here, man. So I'm like, man, here we go with another leak, and that leak is gonna charge me about $350 to fix that leak. It's more of the labor because you got to take all that stuff off. So it's more of the labor that you're paying for. It's like 3 hours of labor that you got to pay for to get it all up. The seal wasn't nothing but like $28 for the seal. But it's leaking oil, man. It's leaking oil. And I'm like, man. And I'm going through like a half a gallon of oil. I think in a 3 to 4 day period of time, going through like a half gallon of oil. Because it's leaking oil. So every day I've been stopping. Like when I stop the fuel, I stop to use the restroom. I take brake cleaner and I clean it all up and I clean it all down because it goes to my steering gearbox. It's going all over the steering gearbox. So I take the brake cleaner and I clean all that up, all that stuff up all along the side of the frame. I clean it up from the starter because it's hitting the starter, and that's probably why these the wires are got brittle because the oil didn't hit them, and that's probably why they had got brittle and it's just had broke too. So I've been stopping and just brake cleaner. Take 5 minutes to clean it, make sure it's good to go, nice and dry. Then I go ahead and finish what I got to do. So until Friday, today is Tuesday, so until Friday I got to get that stuff done. If not Friday, I have to put it in the shop on Monday because I'm looking for a load coming back from Carolina now, and I'm not finding particular ones that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for. It's a 600-mile trip for $2,000, and normally I get like $2,200 for it. But the lady, she's sticking to her $2,000 right now. But it's Tuesday. They got the Thursday, so you know, I'm guess they banking on some sucker that's gonna come in and do it for that. and they got the rest of Tuesday, and then they got most of the day on Wednesday, to hold out for that $200. I mean, but I normally do the same run for 21 to $2,200, and I'm not finna go down in the price to do it. I mean, you got suckers out here who's doing it. Now, I take that back. I'm not gonna call nobody a sucker because I don't know what somebody have in their pocket. I'm not finna tell another man what to do with their money and how to run their business. I'm not finna do that because I don't want nobody sitting here telling me to do it. But I would say this. All right, you run your business the best way you see fit, but you got to stand by your choices too. Okay, you have to stand by your choices. All right, and God, He created everything with a free will. Everything He created with a free will. So each person have a free will to run their business out. So if you want to take a load for $1.60, that's you. Who am I to tell you not to do what you need to do? You got to feed your family, and you need money. And it's not enough money, but you need some money. Something is better than nothing. Okay, so I'm not finna tell somebody. I would say that it's hurting the market by doing that though. Because now when you do it, the broker comes back around when they got the load again, and first thing they always say, oh, I can move this load for this all day. Why? Because you have some people who then took these cheaper loads to do that with. And they doing it out of desperation, but the broker don't care about that. They playing on your desperation for the particular load. So when you talk about the market rate, well, the market rate is based off of what people are willing to pay. You only worth what somebody's willing to pay you. That's the market. That's why they call it market value. So if you're willing to do, like that run is 628 miles. If you're willing to do it for like, 1900, or the lady, the first time she talking about 1785. I'm like, get out of here with that mess. I'm not going there for no 1785. You're going crazy. But if you're willing to do it for a low price, that's, then it's going to be somebody else. So they holding off on the loads. You see how the loads being posted up earlier, right? They're being posted up earlier for really, 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 really low. They're just putting it out there, okay? And they waiting on somebody who's in desperate need to do something like that. But again, I tell people, I'm not finna tell you what to do. I'm not. You got to do what you have to do to feed your family and to pay your bills. So, their situation may be different. You may have $1,000 a week truck payment. Me, I don't have $1,000 a week. I don't have a truck payment at all. But I'm not finna take no load that cheap. I'm not finna do that. No, I'm not finna do that. No, I still gotta make money, man. I gotta make money. Because I have an old truck, you gotta keep up with the old truck. Case in point, I had to pay the $500 to get fixed. But anyway, that's what happened with the truck being broke down. All right, y'all take it easy.